All right. Hello, everybody. You're live on Playing in Traffic with one of your co-hosts, Ray Guarino, and his other co-host,
Wayne Maddox.
Yes, what's happening? We're having a little technical difficulties, but we're sorting it all out. So Wayne and I were just talking a little bit about robots and welding. So I want to hear more about this, Wayne. Tell me about what you do and how you do it.
I'm a field engineer for Miller Electric, so Miller Welders. Right?
Mm-hmm.
And,
great welders.
Excuse me?
I was said great welders because we got one at the shop last year, and I've made on a bunch of different machines, and I have a Snap-on machine at home, an older one. And as soon as I used that Miller, man, it made me a better welder. Literally.
Well, there's a huge difference when you get those cheapo machines.
Mm-hmm.
They're good for what they're made for.
Yeah.
There's a reason why most of them are cheap like that, and Lowe's or Home Depot. And those typically, they might stick a piece of metal together, but that's about it.
Right. Now, I know the trend now is they've gone away from the transformer-based machines, and everything is MOSFET. So
we had to go to inverters.
They call them suitcase machines. That's because they're super light, and a lot of people were down on that because they felt that a welder should be big and heavy and cumbersome, and but the electronics says the opposite. Like you can vary voltage, you can change. You can shift phases, you can do a lot of things with a chip that you can't, you previously had to do with big clunky stuff. So,
but welders are typically about 30 years behind.
Okay.
Human welders are. They do not like to change at all.
Yeah, I know a lot of guys who still stick. They still stick weld a lot. I mean, if I did chassis work, I guess I'd probably stick weld too. But I don't need to.
There's no need to, though. Not with the way MIG is now. It's so easy.
Yeah.
You can do just about anything with it.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. So, and Miller certainly has a great lineup. I mean, the selection is unbelievable. And like I said, having welded for many years, got on that Miller machine, and I just, I did what a lot of guys I know don't do. I raised the side. I downloaded the instructions. I read through them. And I set the machine up, I set it up for what I was doing, and boom, from the first strike, it was like, oh boy, this is great.
Well, you did more than most people do when they buy a machine.
Yeah. No, I know that. I realize that a lot of people just, most of my friends and guys in general just don't have any use for instructions. But,
I don't either.
Well, I'm the guy that reads instructions, because I come from a technical background. I've written technical documents. And I realize, they're there for a reason. In fact, I'll tell you a funny story. I used to work. I've always been in engineering all my life, different companies. I worked out of college. I've been there for 32 years. I'm still in engineering, but I had worked at a company that did primarily lighting, home lighting components and all. And I was in the engineering and in the metallurgy area. But my buddy is still there. And one of the projects they're working on are dimmers to work with all the lighting that could be in your house, from incandescent to CFL to LEDs to halogen. And that's where a lot of the cheaper dimmers are not, they're failing. They're not working right. So I told him I had a problem with a couple of the rooms in my house with LEDs where the dimmers weren't working right. They were flickering. So he gave me some beta dimmers that they came out with that's, and put me in this group. So I can install them, and I'll do a survey and tell them what I found and whatever. So installing the dimmer, I've done this 100, 200, 300 times. But still, there's a couple of switches on this thing. And I know that the engineers went through some hoops to make this thing, tunable, if you will. So I pull out the first instruction sheet, and I open it all up, and it's in French. I was like, all right. Pull out the second one, and it's all in Spanish. Right away. And I'm like, where the hell's the American instruction sheet? And I said, man, that's the first thing I'm going to gig them on that freaking survey. And it had actually folded its way under in the box. I said, thank God it's there, because, man, they were going to get an earful from me. But they did have the instructions. And I told this to my friend just this week, and he says, "You actually read the instructions." He goes, "How would I know if anybody would do it? It'd be you." I said, "Yeah, because they went through, you couldn't figure out how to tune this thing. I mean, maybe, I guess somebody who's a lot smarter than me maybe could have figured it out, but certainly it's a lot easier if you just read it, you know."
Yeah.
And and then I found actually a problem on their copy. I found a problem with one of the things they wrote. They said, you override the switch, you take the faceplate off. They said, push the switch to override it, then switch the other selector switch to A, and then set the dimmer height for where you want it, and then push the switch again to shut it off, which is wrong because I tried that and that doesn't work. You had to push and hold the switch, and as you held it, you did the other things and then released it, and then it sets it. And I said, you got to talk to your technical writers, man, because it's wrong. People aren't going to be able to get that done.
It happens. It does.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you something I've realized from my side, and sometimes it's funny, but you still got to do something. But when we do versions in other languages, like Japanese, it's not so bad with Spanish, things like that, but Japanese and for some reason German.
Okay.
And I'm okay with those languages, so I'll look through some of them and I'm like, that does not mean what you want it to mean.
Yeah.
But I'm sure they do the same with us sometimes. I've seen crazy stuff on there.
Yeah, you need someone who's going to do that language translation, who speaks both languages fluently and understands the product. Because you could have the language, and the written word could be exactly correct grammatically, but
different meaning.
Yeah. But
exactly.
the context is totally freaking wrong. So, I mean, that's tough. How big is the foreign market for Miller welders?
It's I don't know exact numbers, but we've got opportunities overseas.
Okay,
we do. It's not we do some in Germany. We have some in almost every country, but we've got a lot of room to grow in Europe.
Is that mainly industrial or?
Oh yeah,
okay.
all industrial.
Oh, good.
Overseas. Now here in the stateside, we're over 60% of the market.
Yeah.
So we do well with that. You know, small machines all the way up to what I play with.
So tell me some more about those robotic machines, because they've always intrigued me. That stuff is because now you have a lot. You have different technologies that have to work together, and they have to work together.
Well, it's pretty easy actually. Everything's digital now, so you don't have to calibrate anything. You don't have to scale anything. You just plug them in.
Okay.
You kind of set up parameters and conditions.
Yeah,
and once that's done, there we go.
That last. All right, man. I'll hang up the phone.
Yeah, there you go.
Technology.
Hey, it's great when it works.
Yeah, when it works, and that's next to never.
We're only 15 minutes late. That's all.
Hey, we added people while you were waiting, so we did our job. Okay.
Cool. Okay. My name is Lewis Lee from All Ends Media, and I'd like to welcome everybody that's in the chat room and on Facebook Live and YouTube Live. And we got our special guest.
There we go.
There he is. We got a special guest, Justin Nichols from WRENCH'D. Justin, tell people who you are and what you do.
I'm Justin Nichols, and I build cool stuff.
Real cool stuff.
Yes, he does.
Yeah. Now stuff keeps popping up there. Can you still hear me?
Yep.
Yeah.
All right. So I mean, we're here in Watseka, Illinois. We're out in the middle of the corn and the bean fields. You'll see that when you come and visit us, Dwayne.
Yeah, dude, I can't wait. I want to see those dunes or whatever that was.
Yeah, it's about 3.5 hours north of here, but we'll go up there.
I had no damn clue we had a desert in the Midwest. That's crazy.
Really? Let me know when you go. I want to go.
Yeah.
All right. Hell yeah. Hey, I want the UTVs and everything. These guys have a blast out there. They get crazy with it.
Yeah, I've developed a horrible problem. I like the side-by-side stuff. So as of right now, I've got 2 brand new ones. They got 28 inches of suspension travel and 200 horsepower. So I can launch off the dunes and go trail ride and everything. Gage gets in the 4-seater, and we just have a blast.
Yeah, man, that sounds fun.
So
yeah.
What do you think about telling them the big news, Justin? I'm still excited about that one.
So you want a Rochambeau for who tells them or what?
Yeah.
Ready?
All right.
Rock.
Rock.
Hey, wait.
Wait a minute. Try it again. I'm off.
This is going to be an exclusive,
All right.
right? This is going to be.
Here we go.
1, 2, 3.
What's that?
Scissors?
Scissors?
Paper.
Oh, I'm sorry. I had paper. Yeah.
You guys aren't dancing.
Go ahead and tell them.
Now, wait a minute. Is this going to be an exclusive on Plan and Traffic?
Yes.
First time anybody's heard it.
All right, let's go.
So, been talking to Dwayne for a while. We've been wanting to build something. Miller's obviously heavily involved with the shop. We've got some awesome equipment here, and we've decided to build a truck that we're going to take to SEMA 2020. So it's going to have Miller all over it. It's going to have our branding all over it. We're going to have some other sponsors on board. So this thing's it's going to be pretty cool. It's going to be a long travel truck, kind of like a desert racing truck that we can drive on the street.
Yeah. Is it a semi or a pickup?
It's actually, we're going to start with the 2007 Chevy Silverado. So we're going to put the long travel suspension on it, and it'll bring out the wheelbase 8 inches wider. So we should be able to handle whoops, jumps, basically anything you'd handle at the Baja 500. Basically a pre-runner truck.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah. It's going to have cage work, pro charger, cutouts cammed, all that fun stuff. So
are you going to do like a lot of the guys do and start it in like August or September and like thrash it?
No.
Yeah, probably. That's how we usually roll.
Okay, good.
That's how it comes out right.
Because it wouldn't be a good story if you didn't, I mean, yeah, you can't work on it too slow.
So something we've been able to accomplish with this, Justin's truck will be our first one we've put in one of our featured spots, parking spots.
Nice.
Okay. So that's the first one Miller's done.
Nice. Now,
It's awesome to be a part of that.
What kind of builders have you featured in the past, Wayne? Who have you typically had in your booth?
We haven't.
Oh, okay. So this is really a first. Right.
Yeah. I mean, we've had a couple of builds in the past that made it to SEMA, and they brought them inside and set them up in the booth, the hot rod, things like that.
Mm-hmm.
This is going to be yours.
We've never used the featured spot, so
Okay.
That's a first for us.
Great.
Nice. Now, who's driving it out there?
We'll probably fly. I've never made the drive. We've been going to SEMA for a while, but I absolutely hate driving unless I'm jumping.
Yeah. Come on, man. You got to man up. You got to take a ride.
I don't want
I'll
to.
swing by.
I don't want to. I'll have it brought out there. We got a good guy that brings all our stuff to SEMA and all the other shows, so
Yeah.
we'll be good that way.
Yeah, I was going to say, you need an old guy on the team. He'll drive. I know. I'd volunteer.
Yeah, we're trying to get Ray out there. He ain't been out there yet.
No, I haven't. No, I
Trying to
haven't.
get him
You've
out
never been to SEMA, Ray?
No, sir. No, sir.
Hey, I did my first one this past SEMA, so
Okay.
you got to go.
Yeah, yeah.
There's no excuse. You got to go.
It's on the list.
This year was insane, wasn't it? With all the people, and it's turned into like freaking Disney World, man. It's it's more than just the industry. It's all the public and everything. So it's crazy.
Oh, you couldn't walk around hardly.
Well, what's nice about it is, we meet a lot of people here on the show, and throughout the year, I do a lot of car shows and stuff. So I meet people. It's nice to meet people out at SEMA because everybody's on that high, that SEMA high. And, you know what I mean? It's just a really good week. Yep.
Yeah, it was fun.
Yeah, it's usually we're trying to recover the first 2 or 3 days when we're there because we've been up for, I don't know, about 2 months prior to that. So once we rest up and go walk around, it's fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, I imagine. I can't imagine how the builders like you, Justin, do that. I mean, you're thrashing on the car. There's always last minute stuff. Then you got to get there, all the last minute details. Then you got to do the show, which is kick your ass. Then you got to come back and go to work again.
Whoa! You forgot the parties at night.
Yeah, okay. Right. I said old guys, right?
Man, I got to tell you, I could go on for hours about this, but these last few years have been the toughest ever. I've been in business for roughly 17 years, and we moved into the shop about a year before we started filming. I'm like, hey, okay, this building's big enough. We're never going to outgrow it. We started bringing stuff in, and then just kept building cool stuff and getting more work, and then the TV show comes along. And the deadlines on the TV show are just absolutely stupid. And I'm not going to lie about it. They're actually stupid. So having to deal with that, having to do a SEMA build, having to plan to get out there, travel, and still keep the quality up, everything that we take to these shows is, top notch, and they may not be 100%, but they're never 100%. You're always doing something, but it's a tough thing to juggle for sure.
How did you land the TV show deal? How'd that come about?
It's kind of crazy. We did a bike build off. It was in Missouri, so we built an all steel bagger. So I hand formed all the saddlebags, the rear fender, tank. I mean, we built the whole front end on it. We had 30 days to build it. We competed against I think it was 6 other builders. So we went there. It had flamethrowers on it too. So we shot like 30-foot flames out of the back. We ended up winning that. So we got on the cover of. Yeah, it was pretty awesome.
Scared everybody. They had to give you the trophy.
They had the flamethrowers on it. Hell yes.
That's the cover of the magazine right there.
Oh, that's badass.
Yeah, but that's the cover that somebody from McGill Entertainment out in New York seen at Barnes and Nobles, and they called us and they did a Skype interview with Nick and I, and the way we went back and forth, and it went over well. So that's how that happened.
Okay,
Nice.
Cool.
Now I met Jason 2 years ago in Cleveland. You were at the Cleveland Expo. And we really didn't get to talk because, all the crowd and everything, but they had a Riviera. You had a Riviera there. Man, let me tell you, this car caught my eye, and I had to come back 2 or 3 times to look at it. I'm like, man, every time I came by, I seen something else that was, very impressive. You know what I mean? So I'm actually stealing some of your ideas and putting on my Cadillac. Just to let you know.
We all love our reviews, boy. Yeah, we all do.
That's I appreciate that. Yeah, I do for sure. That car was built on the TV show and a crazy deadline. So yeah, I appreciate that, and everybody loved that car. That's probably one of my favorites we've ever done.
What are you borrowing from that car, Lewis? What kind of what cues?
The tail lights. They're flushed in with the paint. You can't see them until he turns the lights on.
Right.
So I got a 77 coupe, and I'm going to keep my regular lights there, but I'm going to put a third brake light in the trunk, run it all the way across in the paint like you did.
In the paint.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
And then I might steal that bumper too, that rear bumper. He put the exhaust coming out the back.
Yeah.
Man, it's pretty sweet. It's sweet.
Well, especially when you lower the car, everything else kind of gets higher. So yeah, it kind of makes sense to pop it out the bumper. That's nice.
Yeah, it's a tough.
Yeah,
car.
we channeled that thing over the frame, and we chopped it 1.5 inches and shortened it up 1.5 inches, and it actually just got delivered last week to the owner in Florida. So we did all the details, and he's out there cruising around having a blast in Florida with it. I'm definitely jealous.
Nice.
Yeah, it's no joke. Now you also took the frame around the back window out too, right? The mold.
Yeah, we flush mounted all the glass. We did Alumacraft did some custom trim for the door glass and the quarter window glass. Alumacraft did a custom grill for us. They did a lot. So there's so many details that go into all of the builds that come out of here. I'm very particular with the details. Everybody gets mad at me because I changed my mind. Like, if it doesn't look good, it doesn't look good. It's coming off. I don't care.
Yeah.
And it's got to be, it's got to look good in my mind, and obviously before it leaves, and I got to be happy with it. So,
right. Well,
when your name is on it, that's that's paramount.
absolutely.
Lou, did you see his bike? The bike he had at SEMA this year or last year?
I don't know. Maybe where was it at?
Oh, I don't. What was the booth, Justin?
It was in Matrix, Sherwin-Williams, or Valspar, or whatever you want to call it.
Oh yeah, I did see it. I think I got a picture of it.
You talk about details. That thing was incredible.
2 months. We did that bike in 2 months.
Really?
Jesus.
Yeah.
And you took a bike. Did you take a bike the year prior to?
No, we took the green C10 that we did.
Oh yeah, that's right. That was.
We took a bike this 19. We did another bike for that.
Yeah. Nice.
Justin, how did you get your start in the body and the customizing trades?
My story is kind of like a lot of other people's. It started with my dad, I had a DA in my hand when I was 7, and I got pictures of him and I working on a 31 Ford that we built. That was the first car that I've ever seen being built, and I was 7. And, we started with the whole frame. It was a grain truck, we shortened it down. We basically built a street rod with the billet wheels on it, and it was definitely a 90s street rod, but that's what got me into it, and he had a lot of automotive friends. He had skills. He was a sign painter, a pen striper. So I just absorbed absolutely everything that I possibly could from anybody that was willing to let me watch or learn or ask questions. Mm-hmm. And I never went to school. I almost went to Wildtech, but I decided, hey, I'm just going to save some money and mess some stuff up and learn how to fix it. And
that's how I learned.
That's the way to learn.
Yeah.
What color was that bike? I'm sorry.
It's like a grayish, greenish, tannish, brownish. It's got some gold leaf on it and some copper and bronze.
Wait, is this it?
Turn your phone, Louis. It's the wrong,
other way. You
want me to stand on my head, buddy?
It's still.
No. Is it upside down?
Yeah.
I'm sorry. All right, go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, it was a bagger, so I don't think I got any pictures of it, but yeah, I do. I got it right here.
Well, there you go.
Oh yeah, that's tough.
We debuted it at SEMA. We did the filming with it, and it got on the cover of American Bagger magazine. So that was the last cover or last magazine, and we got on the cover. So that was pretty cool.
Now, what do you like building more, motorcycles or cars?
I get this question a lot, man.
Trucks.
Trucks.
See,
I got to say, hot rod is where my heart's at. A traditional 32 Roadster, white walls, just screaming headers. That's me.
Traditional.
But
nice.
I love motorcycles too. It's a lot easier for me to put my vision, I guess, into a motorcycle and make it different, because you can cookie cutter a bike so easy. And I feel like we every bike that we do different, and I copy nobody. I obviously look at other bikes and get inspiration, but I always morph those things that I see into something that I think of.
Right.
That's like you see a bunch of chin spoilers on the bagger stuff, but I turned a chin spoiler into the intercooler for the Pro Charger. Instead of having the intercooler hanging off the side of the bike, I ran it down into that, hid everything, and it was just a lot cleaner look, and you couldn't even really tell it had a supercharger on it.
I didn't know. Yeah, I didn't know that. And I stared at that bike for a while.
One of my buddies just got a supercharger put on his bike, and it just sticks out the side, and I'm like, ugh.
Yeah, and that's what I didn't want. I mean, it was literally a big block hanging off the side of the bike, and not that it didn't work, not that it doesn't serve its purpose, but I like stuff to flow and details, and even down to the bolts. It's got to look good.
Nice. When I grow up, I'm going to build a nice Harley.
Yeah.
I'm going to do a what's it called? A bobber with the 26s on both sides.
There you go. So like a lane splitter.
Yeah, like the Jesse Rook, his look. I like his look.
Yeah, I like that a lot too.
Yeah, it looked more like a bicycle than a motorcycle. That's all I want: just handlebars, foot pegs, and motor.
See, I can picture you with a big sugar bear front end.
Yeah,
stretched out there about 12 feet.
King queen seat.
I think it's funny. He said when he grows up, but I see a little chrome in your beard, buddy.
Yeah.
What are you trying to say?
I got chrome too, buddy.
Yeah.
Well, my wife said I'm still a kid, so I got to run with that. She's the boss.
There you go.
What are the trends in bikes out by where you're at, Justin? I know by us out here in New York on Long Island, I have a friend's got a shop. They build everything. He'll have a panhead on the lift, and then he'll bring in a Ducati. And the next thing you know, he's got a 70s Japanese bike. And they're seeing a big resurgence in guys taking these old 70s Japanese bikes out of the garage. And they're having kind of like a cafe road racer deal built out of them, like a hybrid, and they're looking sharp, man. Extended swing arms. They're kind of using a lot of the old cues, but doing some new stuff too. And is that going on by you as well?
It is. It's not as big as it would be out, like say out in California, Mulholland Drive and stuff like that. It's where you've got a place to go out and run and have curves and actually ride the bike like they did. And like I said, it's around here a little bit, but what's big around here is the big wheel bagger stuff, some chopper stuff, bobbers, hardtail stuff. I don't know. Everybody around here just rides, all my friends go to Sturgis and they'll go to Texas and everywhere. So what they build is rideable stuff. So
it's safe to say the big tire craze is finally over.
No.
Yeah. I mean,
here it is. Here it is.
That's a tough one because they just came out with a 34 for them, and I guess that was last year, but that's huge, man. And everybody says you can't ride them, but you can. It's I don't know. It's getting
can't stop them.
Yeah.
To me, they're in the same exact category, those choppers that had the super long front ends. Yeah, can you make them work? But they're not comfortable. There's no way.
I'll tell you, I haven't actually ridden a big tire bike, but I have ridden a chopper, an extended chopper, and you just kind of learn how to ride. I mean, it's a very heavy feel, and you got to be careful when you turn. Once you go past like 35, 40 degrees, that thing will flop on you. So you got to be real careful with the turns. But if you can just do a lot of sweepers, you're all right. And you're not doing U-turns.
So Justin, you got a question, bud? Says every builder has a dream build that usually changes, but what's your dream build outside of the producer's timeline? So I guess they're asking without any timeline, right?
That's pretty easy. It'd be a Lincoln Zephyr.
Wow.
Ooh,
yeah.
Nice.
I would want to stretch it. I would want to chop it. I'm not saying be able to drive under a toll booth, but it's all got to be proportioned. I've got it in my head, but I don't have the time. I don't know that I ever will. But if I had to build a car for myself, it would be a Lincoln Zephyr.
You also have to have the Zephyr.
Yeah,
that also.
That's the key.
I get the feeling that he's hinting at driving under a toll booth, so
getting it low.
He's really talking about slamming it.
Yeah. That's cool.
With your talent, you're like up at the top of the list, so you might be able to demand that build. You know what I mean? There's going to be companies coming. You might, hey, we got to do this, or
right. That's what I want to do.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, the opportunity might come someday, and I'm definitely not going to push it away if it does. But I don't know. I'd have a hard time building that one and letting it go, though, man.
Yeah, he's not wanting to build that for someone else. That's for his garage.
Well, no, I worked with a celebrity. I do booking. I'm a booking agent too. So what they did is they put it all in the deal that they got to keep the vehicle after it was built.
Yeah,
and it worked out pretty good.
That's a nice gig.
Yeah, I've heard of that before. Yeah, I mean, I'm already thinking. You're saying you couldn't let it go. I couldn't let that Rivy go. That'd be one like I'd have to keep that car.
Oh, it's nice.
But you could probably say that about all of them, especially when you build them. There's a piece of you in every car, so it's
absolutely. It's not just me. It's the whole team here. It's everybody puts their 100% into it. I'm obviously designing it and doing coming up with the ideas, and it is tough to let them go. And everybody, you know, like the Riviera, when it got loaded on the trailer, we did a lot of end of the road kind of details. You know, you drive them, stuff comes loose, quits working, alternator, AC pump, whatever. And you grow to get tired of working on it because you're thrashing on it, trying to get it ready for the customer. And what I tell customers is there's show ready and then there's customer ready. So yeah, we had that thing out last year at the shows, but that's not something you want to drive 300 miles right out of the box. So we always put the miles on them, fix anything that needs to be fixed, because you don't want the customer to get it and have to work on it.
Right. No, that's good. That's good. Yeah, look at that, man. That is sharp.
That was a good looking car.
Absolutely.
That thing had an LS3 in it, and it was right around 475 horse with the Borla induction on it. So it had the velocity stacks on it, and yeah, it was an awesome car. The tires on the back were 15 inches wide and 22 tall. It was a mean car.
Wow. That's
that does look. It did look good.
Yeah, to catch your eye.
Thanks.
And what was nice is every time you look at it, you would find something else that, you know, like, man, something's different about it. But you couldn't really put your finger on it. So you walk away, get a sandwich, come back, like, oh, there's no taillights. Like, wait a minute, there's no trim. Wait, where's the trim?
I'm really glad you mentioned show ready as opposed to customer ready, because that's something that we talk about. We talk about on the radio show about, you know, when people talk about TV shows and they when the guys will just bash a TV show and say, you know, what do you expect? You know, it's a show. It's an hour show. You know, it's like, what would you put in that hour if you were, you know, if it was your gig? You know, it's like you gotta kind of show everything. And well, those cars don't run. They don't do, yeah, of course. You know, what do you know? I don't know. I'm glad you covered that, because that's something no one else. I haven't heard anybody else talk about that, and that's refreshing.
Yeah, I mean, it's actually in our world. You've got camera ready, you know, for the show, then show ready, and then your customer ready. So we're essentially building the car 3 times, because TV ready, you've only got a few months to get it done, and then you've got to take it back apart and get everything working and everything for the show. So it's a struggle, man. I'm not gonna lie. And there's always the keyboard heroes out there, man. I just ignore them or laugh at them. I don't care. It's whatever. And the worst part about it is we don't have really a say what goes on the show. It's somebody in New York editing, and they can know nothing but how to put fuel in a car. And definitely not saying bad about anybody or anything, but what goes on the show isn't necessarily what we would like to see out there. It's a big ball of frustration, but hey.
So just to back up, I guess camera ready would be a car that's just ready to be shown on TV. So there'd be panels in place, you know, major components in place, or what else?
It resembles a car.
Right. I guess, right?
Yeah, I mean, I'll tell you, I don't care. We got the Riviera painted done. We filmed the reveal for the car. Wasn't quite ready to drive. It fired up, but we had not tested the brakes. We haven't done anything near ready to drive. So it's super frustrating to even think about having to go back to that.
Yeah.
But yeah, we gotta pretend and make it look like it's done and ready, and then it's all got to come back.
That's the nature of the beast, man.
I'll tell you, this coming Sunday, we have Mark Warman back on Motormouth Radio. He's coming. We had Tony D'Agostino last week, Mark Warman this next week, and then Steve Magnante the week after that. So I want to hit Mark with this, because he's doing a TV show himself. You know, he tends to get caught up in the things that he likes to talk about, but I like to bring him back to reality. And this is exactly one of the topics you just handed out to me. Thank you on a silver plate. But I want to talk about something on the service end of it. You mentioned brakes. That happens to be something. The shop I work at, I do a lot of brakes. I mean, repair, replacement. I do a lot of bleeding. I'm like the brake guy, you know, and I have like a ton of tools that I do that with. One of the things I had to do 2 weeks ago is a Chevelle I'm restoring, and the brake system was all brand new and totally dry. And I said to myself, okay, how am I going to fill this thing with fluid and bleed these brakes? How do I want to approach it being totally dry? And then I thought, well, I just restored my own Pontiac. What did I do with that car? And I couldn't remember. I was like, I don't know. So I said, okay, I know what I'm going to do. I used a reverse bleeder. which injects fluid up, right? So I started at the rear, took the master cylinder off, injected fluid up until it came out of the lines, bench bled the master, put it on the car, filled it, and just did a couple of pedal strokes. And man, I had a solid pedal. It was the easiest brake. I actually sat there and said, damn, this was like the best and easiest brake bleed I've ever done to date. And I just want to share that with people because a lot of people don't know and don't understand reverse bleeding. Mm-hmm. You just can't do it on an ABS car. ABS.
I gotta 100% agree with you, man. That is the best thing that ever happened to Willwood brakes because there's like 1,400 bleeders on each caliper. Yeah. So it's you do that on that and it pumps it back through. And as long as you got your balance bars set, man, that's a great tool.
This is something I took up with Willwood and they didn't have an answer for me. And I said, why do you guys put that minuscule bleeder valve in it? I think it's like, what is it, 1/8 of an inch? But they put it into an adapter fitting. You could have just put a regular bleeder in the caliper. What did you do that for? And I had an engineer on the phone saying, I don't know. I was like,
everything
looked good there.
Yeah. I mean, it's the tiny. So you go to put a hose over it to bleed, and no hose fits on it because it's so small. So you really can't.
You got to put the adapters, yeah.
But even the adapters I have, and like I said, I have maybe 3 or 4 different bleeding systems, and none of them are small enough to fit over that Willwood bleeder valve.
Well, let me just stand up for other engineers. It must have been the accountants. That's what.
Okay, yeah.
Had to be the damn accountants.
Right. They save a little money. I know. Yeah. I mean, but that's the stuff you run into, and it's just those are the little things that frustrate you, but you really don't hear people talking about too much. But I like to talk about it because.
Well, yeah, and there's so many people that don't understand what really goes into a build. Where you're just talking about brakes, that's what 1/16 of the major stuff that you have to do and work on and get right, and it has to be right, or what'll happen. So. There's so many hours in diagnosing and fine-tuning and getting stuff ready. It's really important.
How long do you guys get for a build on the show?
Well, the Riviera, we started that at the beginning of the season, and then we barely got it done. Like, we finished the car 4 days before it aired.
Wow.
Yeah.
So how long of a time was that?
It was like 8 or 9 months, but we also did 6 other builds in between that with 5 guys.
Yeah, you got to keep the doors open and keep the lights on. I mean,
Well, yeah, those were for the show. We did 6 episodes each season, so that's 5 big builds, 4 or 5 big builds plus our B builds. So we were doing all that with 5 people.
Yeah, that's a lot, man.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean, you got to do other work so you can bring home. You got to put food on the table, man.
Yeah, but you could tell he's talking about his other people in the shop. You can tell these guys. I'm sure everybody gets on each other's nerves, but they get when you see the way they play.
Yeah.
They get along fine.
That's a great.
It looks like family working togetger almost.
That's a great thing. You got to have a shop dynamic where everybody gets along.
Sorry, I gotta move around. My phone's about ready to die.
Uh-oh.
I wasn't expecting to use my phone for this, so
yeah. That happens to everybody. They end up on their phone.
Yeah.
I'm trying to stay with you. Just bear with me, guys.
All right. Good.
There's this guy I started following on YouTube because he does tool reviews, and I'm a big tool addict. Clay Kuhn is his name. Kuhn Trucking is his business down in Mississippi. They do diesel repair, and then they do also automotive and truck stuff too. He's got a 3-man shop. It's him and 2 guys, and they goof around a lot. He's got some frustrations because a lot of times things don't get done on time or get done right, but they all they get along, and that's kind of key to having a productive shop, I think.
Yeah, it really is.
Maybe some days you don't get as much done as you should have because there was a little bit too much goofing off, but at the end of the day, I think the communication and camaraderie is the key.
Yeah.
You definitely rode the struggle bus, guys.
It's all right.
No, you're good, bud. This is laid back atmosphere here.
Check his Instagram and you'll normally see what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
I've seen one serious picture, and then they had to follow that up with a grab ass picture. So
all right, yeah.
That's how we get down for sure.
Yeah, and Justin's one of those shops where I could walk in, I'd fit right in.
Mm-hmm.
Beard, tattoos, almost everyone in the shop looks like that. So
yeah.
And that's something we're pretty proud of. You know, we're all just good people. You know, I'm not definitely, toot my own horn or whatever, but everybody that comes in here, and we can get up to 6 people a day, and that's pretty crazy for Waseca, Illinois, because there's not that many people here.
Mm-hmm.
But when they do stop in, if we don't have a lot of time, we'll at least shake their hand, say hi, because we don't want one person out there saying, we're assholes or we didn't give them the time of day. And it happened to me one time in Chicago. I was running around trying to set up for the car, and this family came over, and I feel horrible. The kid was behind me, and I got called over there, and I got a message, and that's the worst feeling in the world for me, is to have somebody upset because they think that I was ignoring them or whatever. And we just try to be friendly and happy with everybody. We're all friends. We're all in the same industry, and we all love what we love. So
it's a tough dynamic when you're setting up at a show or something. You got a job to do, and it's hard to do 2 things at once. It's hard to schmooze and get that car ready or that bike ready. It's people have to have some understanding too. But I know people who are not in the game or in the business have no idea. They're just looking at, hey, I saw him on TV. So
yep, and it's definitely a struggle. So.
Lewis, like when you go out, everybody's swamping all over you. Like, that's the guy from the internet. I know him.
But you know what? It's the sexiness. They can't help it. Big
sexy, right? That's right.
Just draws them to you, right?
Yeah, I'll just get, I got to smack them off, But Justin, I forgot to tell you that Motormouth Radio is our affiliate radio channel, which is worldwide with Ray. So you're going to end up on his show one day too soon.
I'll be in touch with you.
Yeah, I'd be happy to do that. It's kind of weird. You say worldwide. When we go to SEMA, every other person's from Brazil, and they love the show and they love us. Australia, and it's crazy, man. And we watch some of the stuff that's been translated into their language, and we're like, I don't remember saying that.
We were just talking about that way, right? I mean, that's what we were talking about with languages before. Yeah, the translation factor. Oh, that's.
I tell you, the world really loves American culture. I mean, it's just like Japan. They have lowriders. They're going wild with lowriders over there.
It's just easy for them to get in them. That's all. Let's face it. Come on.
Well, the thing is, they're when the drug dealers get caught with their cars, they get impounded and they go to auction. And over in Japan, they're buying up all those auction cars.
Really?
So you're seeing dope dealer cars over in Japan.
Wow.
On Instagram and YouTube and all that. And you're like, wait a minute, that's that dope dude's car.
Yeah.
You'll see a boxed Impala from South Atlanta. It'll be right there on the main street in Tokyo.
Yeah.
I know about 20 years ago, all of our long bikes started going over to Sweden. They started buying up our long choppers like crazy.
Oh, wow.
There were more over there than there were over here.
Yeah.
I hung on to my girder. I got a girder in the shed it's got to be I guess it's about a 6-foot girder. It's like, that's what I was telling about riding flopping. I'm like, I could have sold that thing in a heartbeat, overseas. I said, I got to keep this here.
Yeah. I saw Japan started, they always have had a good, I guess, underground custom motorcycle.
Yeah.
It's starting to get a lot more mainstream over there. They've got some badass customs coming out of Japan. Wow.
Yeah. I like it. The 70s Japanese bikes, the UJMs are coming back around now. Because I grew up with them. Grew up wrenching them, riding them, and I always liked them. They ran like sewing machines. They were fast. They were dependable. And they're coming back. And now with the modern stuff that you can put on them, tires, wheels, and brakes.
Well, they're remaking the KZ.
Yeah.
I've seen that. Yeah.
Nelson just bought one, and when he showed me a picture of it, I'm looking at it, I'm like, oh man, I love the KZ. I had KZ, and he goes, no, this is a new one. Yeah. I thought it was an old one.
Yeah.
It's probably water cooled now, right?
Oh, probably, yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Just
it is.
Yeah, just for
it is.
I think the new one's called KZR or something like that.
Yeah.
Okay.
We got celebrities talking with us. Coverman 66 is on there.
Oh, Terry.
Worldwide.
Oh yeah.
Another worldwide.
You know, he was in the studio with me last month. He came down and did a show with me. And the repercussions, like the waves are still, that's what happens. Like for months, people catch up with it because they listen later. They catch it as a podcast and like, wow, you had that dude. You guys were talking about drums the whole show. And it's like a car show. I'm like, yeah, well, I had my old co-host tell me, he said, I didn't know you knew so much about drums. And I did a show with this guy for 12 years. I'm like, well, because we never talked about it. You're not a musician. You know. So yeah, we spread it out, man. That's what's good.
I don't know if Terry knows that we're all putting in money and betting on when he's going to finally get a bumper put on that one car of his.
Yeah.
He'll do it.
Hey, we should send him one. Get it all prepared and send it to him.
Yeah, he's been doing videos with his Chevelle now, with the Chevelle in the background. I want to see that car get kicked off because that's gonna be a sweetheart.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
So, Justin, you got the truck you were talking about building with us. What else you got in the works, man?
We got a lot of stuff. Before we do we have another question? I tried to pull it up, and I think
I'll get it. I'll get it for you. Let's see. So please, it's from Lee Morgan again, and it says, please explain your work week. Like one day your team works on a build and then you work on other builds. He's comparing his challenge of having a day job and family and then work on a build. So I guess what he's asking is, how do you balance things between the TV build, your professional builds, your jobs builds, and having time with family and everything else, and the show? Shit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, the first thing is family's first. I don't care if it's TV, cars, bike, even if it's your favorite thing in the world. Your family's the most important thing, and they come first. So you make time with them and make the rest follow. It's the hardest thing in the world to do because, I've got a son and, Megan's at home with him right now. And, she works here in the shop too. So we're just constantly going, and it's tough. You got your deadlines. You're doing 6 builds at a time. And I had a full-time job. I worked at a stone quarry, and then I'd go home and work on the projects at home back in the day when I was working out of my garage. And the family time suffered, and I realized that's not what I want. So you got to balance it all. And I don't know how to tell you to do that or give you really any advice. I don't know, but family first.
100%.
Amen.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, that's the stuff that you'll be remembered for long after the job's gone.
yeah.
Yeah.
Now, this truck build, who's doing the seats in that truck? I know a guy.
I don't know yet. Our boss, the guy that does all of our upholstery, he treats us really well, but we can talk,
Yeah. I'm trying to move towards. Wait a minute, I'm sitting in it.
Yeah.
Hey.
There's that beautiful chair.
Let's see.
Nice.
I'm practicing different styles for my Cadillac, and so my seat here was all messed up. So I figured I'd just do this first and see how it come out.
Yeah.
So I'm learning.
That's awesome. Yeah, that's sorry. I'm not trying to change the subject here. My phone, all I've got here is a wireless charger, and I've got it balanced here on the lighter in my laptop.
So you're all right. Listen, bud, we've had some stuff on here that people hanging their phone from the rafters and whatever it takes.
But
I'm about ready to
while we're talking about the show, Lewis, one thing, if there's any way we could kind of get maybe another week's notice to advertise.
Yeah. Yep.
That would really help, man. We could get it out to a lot more people, I think.
Yeah. What's happening is getting back, people getting back to me. So, I'll put out feelers, and then they get back to me, and then they say, well, I can do it this week, next week. So like Justin, he was supposed to be on a year ago, but he got mixed up in the shuffle, with our scheduling. So I apologize for that, but we finally got him.
I will vouch for that, because Lewis, that's one of my jobs on the radio show is I book the guests. And I always say I have people hanging in the cloud. There's always people up in the cloud, and that's like somebody who says, yeah, I'll come on, but they haven't given me a date yet. And then like you're waiting for them to drop out of the cloud, and you send follow-up emails, and you got 3, 4, 5 of them going sometimes at a time. And I'm getting close to my show date, and I don't have anybody committed yet. And then as soon as I get somebody committed, someone drops out of the cloud, says, I can do it this week. I'm like, oh shit. It's like
Justin, you still with us, brother?
His hat is.
His hat? Yeah.
And I'll tell you, that's how I got Mark Warman. Mark has been on the show many times, probably 6, 8 times already. And I got in the beginning of this season, I sent him a text, and he says, yeah, I'll do it. We didn't nail down a date. And then, he's busy. So I knew I was going to have Tony on, who's another Mopar guy. And I said, what I'm going to do? I'm going to attack this I'm going to flank him. And I put it out on Twitter and on Instagram. I put the blast out, knowing Mark would see it, knowing that when he saw Tony was going to be on the show, and he would remember, oh yeah, I didn't commit. During the show, he texts me and says, he threw me a little jab at Tony. I said, okay, can we book a date now? And he says, yeah, how about next Sunday? Like, you got it. So sometimes you got to just play the game, you got to.
Right. When Mark's on, tell him, I don't know, tell him something like he can't come on Playing Traffic no more or something. Okay. Because he hollered at me. Listen, he hollered at me last year at SEMA. He was like, why haven't you had me back on the show? I was like, oh, I'll get you on, man. You're my man. So
he's one of the worst for committing to a date, though. I would say
he's the worst.
I always track him down, and then you don't want to dog the guy. You don't want to be, there's two components. Like, you don't want to bust his balls and be on him all the time. And then on the other hand, like, I don't want to have to chase him all the time because I got other stuff to do. I'm looking for other people, and I'm doing research, and I got other jobs to do. So, after a while, it's like, all right.
We got the third question on here, guys.
What happens?
Tell Justin there's a black cord sitting on his desk that works with his phone.
Yeah, just plug it into something.
That must be his wife.
It is.
Right. Oh, okay.
That's so funny.
Is that on Facebook? Where is she putting those messages? Is that on?
No, she put
questions
in the
under ask question.
Oh, okay.
That's funny.
Oh, yeah, right. There we go. Right.
He's here, but he's not on the screen. What's going on?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you, but we can't see you.
Well, I got back on the laptop, so I don't know.
Hey,
at least you can hear me.
Yeah.
Megan said there is a black cord. Hold on, let me get to her comment. Tell Justin there's a black cord sitting on his desk that works with his phone.
That's funny. I just found it.
That's hilarious. So yeah, she got on you and routed it to Georgia and back.
That's funny.
Well, yeah, I'm trying to get my phone charged here. I'm trying to figure out the camera on the laptop. Just a normal, frustrating day.
Yep, that's the way it goes. So, Justin, what are you working on now? What's your latest build?
We've got. It's actually kind of crazy. What the TV show has done for us is kind of mind-blowing. We've got 6 years worth of builds. We've got
Wow.
Yeah, sorry, trying to figure this crap out.
You're all
right. We're doing a 32 Ford Roadster pickup. It's got a 5.0 Coyote motor in it, twin turbos. I'm hiding the turbos in the headlight. A bunch of billet pieces for it. It's going to be kind of a traditional style, but with all modern horsepower, awesome suspension.
Mm-hmm.
So we're going to debut that in Louisville at the NSRA. So that's pretty cool. I'm a big fan of that build.
Nice.
And then we've got a 46 Chevy truck in here. The guy's from California. He's in a wheelchair. So it's got the brand new LT5 in it. So it's 800 horse out of the crate. So it'll be automatic, big wheels on the ground, air ride. We started our first Riddler build. So I can't really say much about that yet, but all I can say is it's going to have 2,500 horse. The bottom half's going to be one car. The top half's going to be another.
Wow.
So it's pretty crazy. We got a 49 Jag in here. That's going to get LS3 air ride, bunch of stuff.
Now, what company are you using for air ride, or do you bounce around?
No, we usually try to stick with AccuAir. We've got a good relationship with them. It's just a good system, you know.
Yeah, I'm trying to get him on here too. His name's Alex. Is it Alex?
Of AccuAir?
Yeah. What's his name?
I think so.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm trying to get them on too, because I think I'm gonna go with that system. I like that system with the pumps inside the tank.
Yeah, that's awesome. We put that system on the Black C10 that we took 2 years ago to SEMA, and it's so quiet, it's reliable. We got just simple controls, and the self-adjusting stuff is just awesome. You don't have to worry about a thing.
Sounds a lot more compact too.
Oh, it is.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But then again, part of the system that's cool is seeing the hardware. When you see the mechanicalness, you know, I mean, I like seeing lines and fittings, and I'm like Indian Larry. I like seeing that mechanicalness of stuff.
Well, see, I need space for my speakers because I'm going ghetto, loud, bass.
Yeah, because the Caddy doesn't have a big enough trunk.
Listen, when I pull out the driveway, I live in an all-white neighborhood, and they're gonna know that I'm leaving the house.
Well, I'm sure they know when you leave the house.
They're like, "Oh, they're gonna have black guy again."
Yeah, right. Oh, man.
How can we get him out of here? I'm trying to go with 18s. I'm going big, man. I'm telling you.
All right.
How many?
I think I'm gonna go 2 18s and maybe 2 12s, and then a whole bunch of mids and highs.
You just push the car down the road with the
I want to be obnoxious, man. You know what I mean?
You really are trying to piss off your neighbors.
I'm trying to tell you. When I come out to the driveway, they're gonna be like, "Oh, here he goes again."
Yeah.
But I do play classic rock sometimes. So, you know what I mean? I try to keep it right.
All right.
Okay, I got my phone turned back on. I'm going to exit out of this, and I'll see if I can log back in.
What's the classic rock of choice, Lewis?
Man, I like a lot of it, man. It's hard to say. I like hold on, let me get him in real quick. One second.
I think Terry wants Iron Butterfly in the God of the Vita.
I like
you are.
There you go. I like Pink Floyd. I like I like a whole bunch of them.
Echo.
Hey Justin, turn off your phone or or turn off your computer. There you go. Yeah, man. Listen, I ain't prejudiced when it comes to music or anything. You know what I mean? I listen to everything but polka and some country. The new country. I can't listen to the new country.
I will listen to polka music. I will. We got a guy, Polka Bob, who does a show on the station I'm on.
You talk about polka. The funny thing I've noticed, there's a lot of Mexican music directly from Mexico by that, and it's, if you hear it at the start, you're like, I don't know if that's Mexican or is it?
Yeah, no, you're right. I know, especially when you use a little clavinet, the clavichords and the clavinets.
They got the accordions and all that crap. And you're like, you don't really know until they start singing.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
All right.
There you go. You're back.
You're back.
Yeah.
Technology, wonderful.
We lost you.
I'm glad I can bring entertainment, that's for sure.
Hey.
Hold on, I'm propping like 20 things up here to hold the phone.
Gotcha.
Yeah, Led Zeppelin is probably on the top of my motorcycle list. Peaches got a nice playlist.
Yeah, that's good.
I got Rush.
Excellent.
Who else? You got to have Santana.
Yeah, call
It
us.
has to be in the list.
I like Santana.
Yeah. I mean, I listen to a little bit of everything.
Throw some Stevie Ray Vaughan in there.
Yeah.
ZZ Top. Gotta have ZZ Top.
Listen, I had a story about ZZ Top. What's the I can't think of his name. Is it what is it?
Dusty Hill?
Yeah, I think it was. 1 year at SEMA. This is probably the first year I went to SEMA.
Oh,
it was
it
was in 05 maybe. And I'm standing in the hot dog line, not thinking. I'm looking at this guy. I'm like, man, it looks like the guy from ZZ Top. So we're talking about hot dogs and whatever we were talking about. And so I go home, I'm watching something on TV and they're showing SEMA and they show him. I'm like, wait a minute.
Well,
we were talking about hot dogs.
Actually, Billy Gibbons is the big car guy. Yeah, but yeah, that's
it might have been Billy. Yep, that's who it was.
Definitely. Yeah. Excellent.
Nice dude, man. We were just talking, just hanging out.
Yeah, Billy Gibbons, right?
And Frank Beard, the only guy without a beard in the band.
Hey, have you guys seen Ford versus Ferrari?
I haven't seen.
I haven't.
Dude, that's an awesome
it's
movie.
a good movie.
Yeah,
it is
for sure.
And what's really cool about it is I took the tour at Shelby's plant the year that he passed away. So me and my wife, we got to meet him, at SEMA and stuff. And he passed away that year, But it was nice to be able to meet him and talk to him and then watch this movie and know the history a little bit.
Yeah.
If you ever go to Vegas, you got to go to his museum. I mean, it tells all the history and it has the original Cobra there. I mean, it's really cool.
Nice.
Yeah.
I spoke to him once at it wasn't even a real big car show, but many years ago when he was doing that sports car. I think the one I saw was all silver, but it was his own brand, the Shelby.
What was the name of that? Yeah, I just saw. We were talking about it on TV the other day.
It was about 5 or 6 years before he passed.
Right.
Beautiful looking little sports car. But he was just down to earth, nicest guy you could be. Just cool as could be.
Yep. Good movie. You guys got to watch it, really. And actually, we watched the documentary on might have been on Netflix. We watched that first, then we watched the movie.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, you got to be impressed with any guy that his whole reasoning is, let's see how big a motor I can fit in that little bitty car.
Yeah, without killing yourself.
Yeah, without killing everybody.
And then let's take on the big dog. Let's take on Ferrari, at Le Mans. Let's just go right into their backyard and just.
Oh yeah, he went right for the jugular. He's like, I'm gonna kick the big boy.
Right.
Well,
He put some hammer on Ford too.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you really got to watch the movie. It's really good. I'm gonna tell you a little story about his Cobra. When he built that car, he was trying to shop it around, and he went to Arizona. I learned this at the museum. He took it to Arizona somewhere, and ran out of money. So he left it at a gas station. He goes, "Nobody wants it. I'll just leave it." And he got on a bus and went back home.
Really?
So his buddy was like, "Where's your car at?" He goes, "Oh, I left it. It's junk. Nobody wants it." So his buddy's like, "No, we got to go get it." So they went back and got it with a trailer. And at that time, this was maybe 2010. Yeah, somewhere around there. At that time, people were offering him $500 million or $5 million for that car.
Jeez.
Yep. And he left it.
I didn't know that. I hadn't heard that one.
Yep. Yeah, they talked about it in his tour. It's a really good tour. When you leave there, you'll want to buy one.
Yeah.
I'm
I
telling
want
you.
to buy one now. But
Yeah,
Yeah.
me too.
You really, man, if I had a checkbook, boy, I almost. Luckily, the wife was with me. She was like, no, we got to go. We got to go.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really cool.
I don't know if you'd fit too well in a Cobra, though, Lewis. You know,
Listen, I'll make my
fold it
butt.
up, right?
Yeah, I'll get in there.
I would fit very well. I do fit well in the Cobra.
Well, they do make a stretched out one, though.
Okay.
Yep. Believe me, I check into that stuff.
There you go. Yeah.
I'm
How
6'5", but I got to figure out what I can get in.
How tight are the pedals in the footwell? Because that's the other big thing. Like, you got to be able to have, like,
move.
be able to wear the right shoes.
All right, I'm gonna tell you another story, and then I'll let you guys talk. When I owned a repo company, and I went to repo a Mazda Miata.
Mm-hmm.
So I had my driver pull up. I got the keys, right? So no need to get in the truck, right? So I run up the driveway. I'm only 6'4", 6'5", I get in the car. I'm like, yes, I'm out. So I shut the door, and the door is stuck. My leg is stuck in between the steering wheel and the door. I couldn't move. So I had to back out the driveway with the door open. Then I had to drop the roof so I could stick my head up.
Oh, geez.
So I was like, "Hey, man, you got to drive. We got it around the corner." I was like, "Hey, you got to drive this car. It's too small.
Yeah.
I can't drive it."
Right.
So that's my story of the little cars.
All right.
So
Those Miatas are pretty badass with LS motors in them.
Yeah.
I bet. Anything with LS pretty much is pretty fun.
Yeah, pretty much is right. That's right.
and those little things are good handling. They're quick little cars. Yeah.
Yeah, I got a Fiat Spider. I just want to put like an Ecotec, a supercharged Ecotec 4 in it. I think that'd be great.
Mm-hmm.
But
you say that. I don't know if did you guys see the episode with the Saab in it? That 69 Saab?
oh yeah.
Yeah, it was a 69 Saab Model 99. So we took all the Saab out of it, cut the floor out, built a chassis for it, put big wheels on it. It's got a 2.3 EcoBoost Ford motor in it, so it's turbocharged. We actually fired it up about 2 weeks ago. It's at the upholstery shop right now. We're actually debuting that at World of Wheels in Chicago. So it's a fun car. Those little motors are great.
I bet that is badass.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Well, I think I'm gonna have to drop off here. I got to get up early for work. Don't mess with the wicked. All right.
Yeah. I'm gonna have to
I'm
head
an
out
hour
myself.
later than you guys over here. So.
Oh, okay.
Are you?
I suppose, Gramps.
Yeah. All right,
Grandpa.
guys. Justin, always great, guys. I'll see you.
Thanks.
Okay.
Thanks for coming on, man.
Yeah.
Appreciate it. All right. Let's see. All right, we'll kick him out. Hey Terry, you want to jump in? Wait a minute, Siri's talking to me.
Okay, let's hear breakup in a small.
She just, women, they just always want to talk.
Yeah.
Talk about breakups.
I want you to listen.
I'll be walking through the house and say something close to Alexa, and she jumps in and starts talking.
Yeah, I do not have a wired house. I do not want those little pucks listening to me and talking back to me.
I got one with a camera on it. He's looking at me and everything.
No.
But fellas, I'm gonna jump off too. Excuse me, Justin, you welcome to stay on, because the fellas, they like to talk. They stay on longer. But see, I'm old like Dwayne, so I get a Chassis John in. But
So him and I hang. So
yeah. Hey, I really appreciate you coming on, and I'm sorry it took so long to get you on.
No, it's all good, man.
Yeah. Lucy, if you got John or even Brian may want to come in too.
I just hit John.
There he is.
This is Chassis John.
Eating a Striadel.
He's the after party host.
Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah.
Oh, nice. Honey roasted blue diamonds. Nice.
Yeah. But I'm gonna say my little spiel before I jump off. Everybody in the chat room, we really appreciate you, and please share this. Let everybody know what we do every Thursday night, 9:00 Eastern time. Everybody on Facebook and YouTube, please like, share, and hit the little bell so we can try to get our numbers up. so we can be big dogs like Coverman 66.
Yeah.
And Justin, man, hey, I appreciate you, and I'll be getting in touch with you because I need some info on those taillights because I got to do some trunk work on mine.
We'll help you out, man, for sure. No problem. I appreciate you having me on here.
Yeah, man, I appreciate you. Anytime you want to come on, man, your family now playing in traffic. Just anytime you got something that you want to show off or talk about, please let me know, man. We'll get you on.
Right on, man. Sounds good. Yeah, I'm actually going to jump off here in a few minutes. I'm going to try and catch Gage before he actually falls asleep. So
okay. Okay. All right, we appreciate you. Hey guys, after party, you guys have fun. Keep it clean.
Yeah, we do.
All right, see you guys.
We'll catch you. All right. Yeah, Justin, I'll be in touch with you. I'll send you an email when as my next spate of guests runs out. We'll get you on a radio show.
That'd be great.
Get you on
Yeah,
East
you'll
Coast.
like it. It's fun.
Yeah, get you on East Coast feed. Damn freaking thing. Yeah. So what do you think, John?
I don't know. Interesting show.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, it was cool.
I'm just in awe. I mean, working on cars and fixing them is one thing. That's a whole nother world. And like what you do is a whole nother thing. And like what Justin's doing, that's a whole nother thing. I can't imagine those deadlines and having 6 builds at the same time. And I mean, just to be working on them is one thing. Then to be keeping track of what parts are going where and who's, the purchasing. God.
I mean, I understand a lot of what he's going through with the stuff that I did, for Animal Planet with that show Tanked.
Right.
There was a lot of craziness, deadlines, the whole 9 yards about, putting a custom aquarium together and getting it in a house and everything. But being a car builder, before I got involved in this aquarium stuff, I don't know how he's going through the crap he's going through to make TV.
Right.
That's a total insanity.
Yeah.
It's hard enough to build a car for a customer just to build it.
I had to jump back in, man. I need one of those hats, Justin.
All right, send me an email, man.
All right, cool.
Yeah, because we all know building cars it's not as an exact science as people think. Things go wrong. Parts that are supposed to fit don't fit. Things that are supposed to work don't work together. And
it's the stuff that you get from outside vendors, like what I'm going through with this Camaro.
What's the latest debacle?
The latest debacle is the center section and the axles came.
Okay, so you got that squared away, yeah.
And they sent 31 spline axles instead of 35s.
Okay. Yeah, that was the last debacle, right. Did they square it away yet? Did you get the right stuff?
He sent the return tags, and I reordered stuff.
That's the biggest problem is parts, man.
Yeah.
Everything that we do isn't nut and bolt restoration. So we're not restoring a 70 CUDA. We're not 69 Camaro. Everything is one off. And
sure,
when you try to get parts for anything alone, let alone something custom, it's just an absolute nightmare. You're on the phone all the time. And then you're staying late because you didn't get done what you wanted to get done during the day because you're chasing parts down or whatever the case is,
Trust me, I know exactly what you're going through.
Yeah, I mean, John, and then
I started out, it was like a hobby thing. I was always a car guy, and I got a Firebird, and I started modifying it. And I was working for a speed shop, so that was a good way to get stuff for less than normal price. And then people started asking me, can you do stuff? And one thing led to another. And a couple of years down the road, I had the biggest professional chassis shop in the state of New York.
Yeah.
And,
it happens before you even
square
know it.
feet. We were building pro stocks and pro mods and modified cars and doing pro street stuff and shipping stuff around the country, actually shipping stuff out of the country too. And I was, the fabricating guy, and I had fabricators working for me, and I was in the office all the time, ordering parts, talking to customers, taking deposits, making sure that this one's getting paid on time. I went from being a fabricator to riding a desk.
And that's kind of what happened to me, and I absolutely hate it, man.
Yeah, it happened to me to the point that I burned out, and I wound up selling the business.
Yeah,
that's how I got involved in custom aquariums.
You got to become an expediter.
Yeah, you know, and
But,
then
yeah,
now I
that's
got pulled back into it. Last
But,
couple of years, I got
that's the
pulled
thing.
back
Some,
into it.
some
But it's,
guys will take the route and they'll try and they'll hire somebody to do that. Like, here, this is now
Yeah.
your job. I'm going back in the shop. You know,
yeah, but the problem is that person has to have that same knowledge that you do. In other words,
And
let's take-
drive.
yeah, you got to know what's going on. I mean, I came from nothing. I learned everything about cars by doing it, taking them apart, putting them together, the whole deal. So when I had the business, if somebody walked in and said, "Okay, I want to build a pro stock, Camaro," all right, IHRA, NHRA at the time, IHRA was still around. Differences in the cars, but I could name every single little piece. In my head, I knew what had to be ordered, what had to go where, how many feet of square, of chromoly tubing was going to go into the car. All of that. To try and find somebody that's going to do that, that's got to be somebody that's already built cars, that really understands it and would rather work a desk. Car guys don't like working a desk.
the other way to do it is to put in the time and build a database with that information, so they could just click on, and then get the bulk of the knowledge. But again, it's more work up front.
Yeah,
So,
absolutely.
yeah.
I learned about that kind of stuff through Jerry Bickle. He was like a real mentor to me, and he's got it down to every single washer and screw.
Yeah.
So if you go to him and you buy a car, he's got a parts list that reads like a phone book.
Yeah.
But they have literally inventoried every single little thing.
Right.
Right. And that's really the way to do it, to keep your business, right. Otherwise, you're giving stuff away.
In that vein, yeah, I noticed a few years ago, my buddy's motorcycle shop in Hempstead, they started, when the mechanics would go and get parts from the parts department now, and they needed like a can of brake clean or some paint, that started going on the invoice. They started getting like billed, and they're like, "What do you mean?" I'm like, well, somebody's got to pay for it. Like, we're not just buying, 100 cases a year to give it away. It's gonna get worked into the price. And
well, you see that when you go to a mechanic shop today.
It's like a dealer mentality, right? Exactly.
Any kind of dealer
Rags.
or any mechanic shop, you've got
the rags they use. Yeah.
Waste products.
That's right.
Your oil. You get an oil change, they charge you for getting rid of the oil because they've got to pay somebody to come take that oil.
Right.
So over the years, all of that little stuff that we would say, "Oh, he's nitpicking me," has become part of a standard invoice for anybody.
Yeah, it's true.
It's all accounting.
So, do you have any iguanas falling out of the trees on your car?
No,
because that's all over the papers up here. How iguanas are falling out of the trees in Florida because they're freezing.
East Coast.
Oh, okay.
East Coast has iguanas.
I got it.
Big, heavy, green, purple.
They show them their small ones too.
Yeah, we have the tiny ones.
Yeah. They said that
I forget what they call them, but no, they're not falling out of anything.
Yeah, it's in the Daily News. They said it was on the news. They're literally falling. They had video of it falling out. They get so cold and they go into like almost a comatose state, and they just fall out of the tree. They said one guy felt bad, so he picked up about 20 of them, put them in his car to warm them up, and he was driving, and they all woke up, and they were all pissed off. It was like 20 freaking iguanas, like bouncing off. So he said, "Don't put these things in your car or in your house. Like, cover them with a box and a blanket. Like, don't be stupid."
Iguanas are big. Over here, the ones that they have on the West Coast, they're called anoles, ANOLES. That's a very, very small. They're like this big.
Yeah,
they're everywhere.
Right.
I mean, literally everywhere. Every now and then, I'll find one scooting across the living room floor because, well, it came in through either a hole in the pool screen or the dog door that's at the pool screen. He'll come in, then he'll roam around on the patio, and then he'll come in the house.
Yeah.
Then you just pick him up by the tail, and then I go up to the fence and I go, swing, flip him into the neighbor's yard.
All right. Okay.
The cat goes after him. You'll find every now and then you'll find a cat will have one in his mouth.
Yeah.
But you get used to them. It was kind of weird in the beginning. I'm like, whoa, what's wrong with reptiles?
Right.
You get used to them. They're basically everywhere, and they eat insects, so they're actually good to have.
That's cool. Yeah.
But I didn't think about that when it gets real cold. They're warm weather animals.
I know it's down.
I haven't seen any laying around.
I know it's down in Nashville. It was like 27 degrees yesterday morning. You know, I mean, we were in the 20s, but you know, I expect to be in the 20s in New York. You know, it's like that's what happens.
It was 34 here yesterday. I actually had to wear long pants and a coat.
And a coat.
I had to pull out my Tampa Aquarium Service jacket. That blue jacket I wore when I came to see you.
Right.
I had to pull that out of the closet again. I'm like, wow, this isn't good. Not good. But today was
all right, guys. I think I'm going to head out. I'm going to go try and catch Gage before he falls asleep.
All right, Justin. It's been a pleasure having you.
Keep up the good work, man. Good show.
Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
All right, man. We'll be in touch.
All right, buddy.
All right, good night.
Take care.
Oh, yeah. He built some cool stuff in that shop. He does a lot
of beautiful stuff.
I don't know how they, like I said, just to keep up that pace. I don't know, man. I mean, how many years?
Like he told you, 9 times out of 10, the stuff's not finished.
Yeah, I just want. Well, yeah, I know that. I mean, it's got to be finished at some point. But like, how many years can you keep that up before you say, "All right, already"? We just go back to like a 2-car garage and build 1 car at a time. You know, it's like what you're doing. Like, go back to the
exactly.
Take it back. You know, dial it back, and let's make it doable. I guess it's with age too. You know, when you're when you get older, you want to, you're not looking to be so close to the wall.
It should be pretty crazy here next week. The carbon fiber company called.
Mm-hmm.
Everything's in the mail.
Nice.
Transmission. The converter came yesterday. Transmission's already on the way.
Okay.
That comes on a pallet.
Yeah.
So that'll be here next week.
No firewall cover yet.
Well, that's the carbon fiber guys.
Oh, that's this stuff. Good. Yeah. Finally.
So I'm thinking probably in the next 10 days, that thing's going to have the firewall cover and have the engine and transmission in.
Now, how are you attaching it?
I'll take it all off of the rotisserie at that point. I have to wait till it gets here. They said you can screw it in, you can bolt it in, you can Velcro it in, you can glue it in.
Yeah, I was thinking like a
glue
it. Yeah,
panel bond.
PL 1000 construction adhesive. Yeah, just glue it on.
I'm thinking I don't want to put holes in that thing if I don't have to.
I mean, you could use nice hardware, button head screws, but this way you see nothing. It's nice.
Yeah, I would rather just make sure it fits the way it's got to be fitted. If I got to massage the firewall a little bit,
sure.
Panel bond it. That would look just smooth and awesome.
Yeah, that'd be my choice. Excellent. Yeah, that's nice. Very cool.
I can't wait for that.
Nice.
So we'll see how it goes. I got my truck back today from the shop.
What were you doing to it?
I sent it over to. I have my outer door handles.
Mm-hmm.
They're painted black.
Yeah.
You would think they would powder coat that stuff.
Yeah.
No.
No.
Anyway, when I first bought the truck, there was one of the handles had a scratch.
Uh-huh.
And the guy was like, yeah, just make an appointment and come back, leave it here for like a day or so. We'll fix it. I'm like, okay. So I brought it in for that and that ceramic paint covering.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Coat the paint with that. So
good
first
stuff.
thing they do is they clean the car, they clay bar it.
Right.
And then they do the ceramic. Oh my God, the truck looks like it's encased in black lucite.
Yeah.
Run your finger over it, it's smooth as glass.
Yeah. No, that stuff is great. A friend of mine
do the Scotch Brite Scotch stuff inside the interior.
Yeah.
And I had the driver and passenger front doors tinted, the windows, and I had them put a really dark tint band on the top of the windshield.
Okay.
So it looks real good.
Nice.
Yeah. They gave me I couldn't believe it. They gave me a 2020 1500
to
use for the last, because I brought the truck in on Monday.
What
a piece of shit.
Yeah.
Completely different vehicle.
Yeah.
I mean, the body was pretty similar.
Right.
The steering, I guess because mine's 4-wheel drive, so there's a difference there.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot more effort in my steering. Mm-hmm. This thing you could steer like with a pinky would be too much.
Right. Well, you may have electric power steering too, which they actually it's like road sensitive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I noticed when I got back in my truck that I had more of a sporty, slightly stiffer feel to the steering wheel as opposed to the 1500 they gave me, which was like, felt like I was in a foreign car. It
like
was
an old
so
Chrysler.
wimpy. It was very wimpy,
Like an old Road Runner,
It's got a V6 in it.
Uh-huh.
Really powerful. I was pretty amazed. But it's got that auto shutdown.
Oh,
crank.
yes. The stop-start technology.
Oh, my God. How annoying that is.
Yeah,
Luckily, I found the button you can shut it.
Right.
But you got to shut it every time you fire the truck up.
Every time it's correct. Yeah.
But it's annoying to be sitting at a stoplight and it shuts down and you don't know it.
Right.
And you go to take off. As soon as you lift your foot off the brake, you feel the motor start up again. And I'm like, that is like the most annoying thing in the world.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I didn't like that.
The big capacitor that just stores the charge. And I'm waiting to
how does that work?
Yeah, there's a lot more to it than that. And I'm not an expert on it.
You hear the starter motor.
Yeah, and that's what I'm waiting to see now. I read a lot of trade publications and keep up with this stuff, and I'm waiting to see now if a few years go by, if the starter life is going to be affected by that, because you're effectively starting that car a lot more times than you would if you just.
I talked to my service writer about that.
What do you say?
He says that the starters are extremely robust compared to years prior. And he said the fact that since it's fuel injection, which I completely agreed with him, those motors, the fuel injection system on the restart is extremely lean.
Okay, it could.
So it wants to start.
Yeah, no reason they can't.
As soon as the crank starts moving, it wants to fire over. Right.
Yeah, and it's all electronic, so they can lead the ignition timing. They can do everything through the computer.
Right.
Now, I wonder that makes me think of something else. I wonder if that starter that's in those vehicles could be retrofit into an earlier one. And now, like, you use the high torque starter from the late model, unless they change the whole freaking thing around, then it could.
I have to look at, is the motor that's in my truck the 6.6? It's a 400-inch. Is that like a LS type motor?
The GMC, yeah,
Terry would know that.
Should be. Yeah, should be.
So I actually own an LS.
I guess so. Yeah. Yeah.
No, I like it. I love the truck.
Yeah.
And the motor's very powerful.
Oh yeah, quiet, smooth. Yeah.
So that means maybe after I wear out the warranty, which should only be about a year from now, I can call Terry and maybe we'll put like a blower on it or something.
Right, there you go, supercharger. Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Got plenty of room under the hood.
Sure.
I had the hood open today when I got back to the shop. The motor is, I swear to God, about 14 inches below the hood. There's so much.
Imagine having to work on that as
I could probably put a Roots blower on that truck.
Yeah, right.
You would never even know it.
With Hillborn injection.
Well, that would probably stick up.
Oh, a little stack, like the little the 2-pot stack they used to use back in the 60s,
Yeah, that motor's lost because there's room in there for a Duramax.
Sure.
So my motor's lost in there.
Yeah.
But it runs real good.
Yeah.
I'm happy with it.
That's cool.
But it was good. They gave me a white one. A white 1500 had like 2,000 miles on it. And I posted a picture on Facebook because it looked like a Imperial Stormtrooper.
Oh, yeah.
White and black.
Oh, wow.
Was gassing it up. Took a picture of it. Said I'm driving the Imperial Stormtrooper version today while mine's getting fixed. And my friend calls me up. He goes, "Dude, you got two?" Like, no. I said, no. He goes, "Well, I saw pictures of the black and chrome one." He said, "And you referred to it as Darth Vader."
Right.
I go, and today you're driving the Imperial Stormtrooper version. He goes, "I don't know." He goes, "You got money. Maybe you got two."
Oh, there you go.
No way.
I left the TIE fighter in the garage.
Yeah.
It's like taking that out, Oh, shit. That's funny. That's cool stuff.
So other than that, that's it. Probably going to the track Saturday. Big race at Bradenton.
Oh, yeah?
All the pros have been here all week.
Really?
I've been too busy. Usually I like finagle some time.
Yeah.
And I'll go there because you'll get Mountain Motor Pro Stock guys, all with huge engines.
Yeah.
You'll get NHRA.
Mm-hmm.
Summit team was here. It was a bunch of pro stock teams here. They leave today or possibly tomorrow at the latest because there's a big race that starts, the U.S. something nationals in Bradenton.
Mm-hmm.
And they'll have pro mods, nitrous cars, blower cars, radial versus the world.
Yeah.
Outlaw 632.
Mm.
There's going to be a bunch of stuff. There's some no time classes that are going to run. It's a really, really good weekend.
Yeah, that's a lot of
for
stuff.
like crazy fast stuff.
How's the weather going to be?
Should be nice.
Okay.
Today it got up into the 70s today.
Yeah, good.
Yeah,
good.
So that was pretty good, you know. So they were there testing all week.
Yeah.
You know, and I'm like, I missed it because you just roll in.
Sure.
You know, and it's mellow because
Yeah.
they go up to the starting line. They open the track for the whole day. They close like around 6 o'clock.
Mm-hmm.
And the pros just whenever they're ready, they just go.
Mm-hmm.
You know? And it's relaxed. You can talk to people and look at the new stuff for the year.
Yeah.
See what's going on. I'm
Nice.
always taking spy shots.
Sure.
Yeah, looking for some new technology or new ways that they're doing stuff.
Right.
But it's cool. You get to meet some nice people, you know, and in a relaxed atmosphere. They're not, you know, under a timeline that they got to be ready for the next round or anything.
Yeah. It's not race day. Sure.
Yeah, they're just chilling.
That's good.
And Bradenton's a good track.
Mm-hmm.
It's you'll walk out of your shoes over there on any given day.
Wow.
Yeah, they know. That's the reason they come here.
Uh-huh.
These guys know track prep.
Mm-hmm.
And it's nice. It's a nice track. It kind of reminds me of Atco.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Back in like the 90s.
Yeah.
Where
Okay.
they put a bunch of money into it.
Yeah. Right.
It's got crappy, you know.
Yeah. The bleachers suck. Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
Even the pit
place
area
where
was
you get the food, the little food shack. It's not real big.
Even the pit area in the parking lot at Atco was sucky. There was like sand and dirt all over the place. Yeah.
But they have a pretty nice pit area. They have like a lot of little kind of like little streets going through. You know, it's not all paved.
Right.
So there's grass.
Yeah.
So you can pull off but you're driving on pavement, which is pretty good.
Yeah.
But it's nice. It's local. It's only like a 25-minute ride.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
It'll be a nice weekend.
So it's
Excellent.
good.
Very
Other
cool.
than that, that's it. We're doing an installation tomorrow.
All right.
180 gallon system.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So another new customer.
Good.
Looking forward to it. Got a bunch going on.
Yeah.
Got a meeting on Monday for another different television show.
Okay.
See if that turns into something.
Interesting.
It may be just maybe one or two things. It's not a show based on that kind of stuff.
Right.
It's like a home improvement kind of thing. So
Okay.
if the customer wants something like that, then they would drag us in.
Right.
So it's cool. But at least we got a phone call.
Yeah, that's nice. Yeah.
Go from there.
Now, okay, I meant to ask you this before, but where did that shirt come from that you're wearing?
My wife got this. I don't know where she found it.
Top notch also. Yeah, no, it's the right year, man. It's vintage 58.
Exactly. Except it's not all original parts anymore.
Yeah, I know. I'm missing a few of mine. I've had a few removed.
I got the knee.
You had a few added, right? I had a few taken out. Hey, listen. There's not many original cars around either, so what the hell?
I don't know where she found this. She found this.
Nice.
I mean, I don't know.
That's
like
a good shirt.
I think like 2 years ago.
Yeah, that's a cool shirt.
It is. It's good.
Yeah.
It's comfortable.
Nice.
It's a change up from one of my I think I own like 30 Chassis Connection shirts.
Oh yeah, sure.
That's
sure.
all I wear when I come home.
Oh yeah.
They're real comfortable. I take a shower, clean up, and then
Right.
put on a Chassis shirt.
Make it easy. Yeah.
Yeah. And I have like a pile of ones that are kind of beat up.
Mm-hmm.
Those are the ones for working on the car.
Yeah.
And then when they get to the point where they're trash, it's like, okay, see ya.
Yeah.
And then I actually have a box of new ones.
Oh, okay. Yeah. New old stock.
Well, yeah.
Nice.
Bolt mount. Same thing with the. We have a really, really good guy that does all our shirts here.
Uh-huh.
Same thing with the Tampa Aquarium Service stuff. I
Mhm.
have a huge pile of those,
Yeah.
and then and they get beat up.
Uh-huh.
You're dealing with salt water. Salt water, just destroys everything.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then I'm always working with PVC cement.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
And I'll get some on my finger, and then I'm like, oh, I got an itch.
Right. Right. Right.
Now I
right,
got a
right.
big stripe.
Mm-hmm.
So they get beat up. Or we work with bleach a lot.
Oh yeah.
Well, because we have a lot of decorations, they're fake decorations in some of the tanks, and
Right. Right.
they discolor. Algae grows on them.
Yeah. Yeah.
You can only scrub them so much
Right.
in the tank.
Yeah, yeah.
Sooner or later you got to pull them out, and then we put them in a big vats, and we use the same bleach they use for a pool,
Okay.
which is like 10 times stronger than Clorox.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's just a little bit, but I always wind up getting splashed,
Yeah. Yeah.
Or if I have to, if I have to do the pool screen with the pressure washer,
Yeah.
sometimes you get some algae and mold and stuff that grows on there. So
Uh-huh.
sometimes the pressure washer is not going to get rid of it.
Right.
So
Right.
there's like that attachment.
Yeah.
And I just pour the pool bleach in there,
Mm-hmm.
and then I hit it, and
Yeah.
it comes down on me.
Right.
And I have a bunch of tie-dyed shirts.
It's funny because just the other day, my domestic side, I'll do the laundry, if my wife has it like in the middle, like, because I'm a nut, it's like, especially now in the winter, like with the dryer, I want to be like efficient. So like I want the clothes come out of the washer in the dry, but when that load comes out of the dryer, I want the next load going in while the dryer is still warm. Like,
Right.
why should we heat it up from scratch, So I did, and then I brought the clothes up, and I'm like, all right. So I just folded them, threw them on the bed, and I folded them up. And I noticed the next day she's asked me, she said, thanks for doing it. Yeah, no problem. I said, I noticed you got a couple of pair of pants in there from Pink, they're from Victoria's Secret. I said, and the bottoms they look like they were bleached. I'm like, but these are brand new. I know you just got these for Christmas because I'm still paying for this shit, So I'm like, what the hell? And she goes, oh, yeah. Well, just what I thought. They're all just a little too long on her, so they drag on the floor. But then she cleans the floor with bleach and water, and then she drags the pants in them, and they all get fucking bleached out. I'm like, hey, you got tie-dye from the bottom up. That's all right.
I did the smart thing when I went to Victoria's Secret. I just got the card.
The gift card, yeah.
There
Well,
you go.
I did it the other way. I had my daughter, my younger daughter said, listen, because she'll go out with my wife and shop, and then they do the same thing for each other. Like they scope out what each other wants and they go back,
Sure.
So I told my daughter, I said, listen, just keep an eye out for what your mom wants. I said, because I'm sending you back. And she did. So on one of the trips, like, you got the credit card? Good. Just whatever it is, bring it back. So she did. I wrapped it. I'm like, oh, good. Very nice.
Yeah. Yeah. I give my wife the gift card and she just goes and gets.
Yeah. Yeah. That's usually the best way. It's the safest.
Yeah. She appreciates it.
Speaking of gift cards, it's like one of these things you got to pay attention to. I just had a thing. I guess it was a couple months ago. KYB had a thing through Rock Auto. If you bought 4 struts that qualified, or struts and shocks that qualified, you could get a 25 for 2, or if you bought 4, you get a $50 rebate. Like, okay, cool. So I bought 2 struts for my car and 2 shocks for my daughter's SUV, and sent in all the paperwork, copies of everything, and $50. Comes the other day, I open it up, and there's a $25 gift card. I'm like, wait a minute. Yeah, well, where's my other 25, right? So send him an email, and I got some guy, Garvin, who sends it back to me. He's, listen, can you send me a copy of the paperwork that you sent in, the original paperwork? So I guess right away, that's kind of like the first level, and most people are like, oh, shit, no, because I sent it in. I don't have it. Well, I keep copies of everything, so
you have to.
I copy it, so I just scanned it all in.
These days, 9 times out of 10, just about every receipt that you get for something, like say you go like to Best Buy, you get a television, or Costco, whatever. You can't keep those receipts laying around.
Why not?
The ink just disappears.
Yes, I've seen that. Yeah.
So what I wind up doing is if I buy something that could possibly, I may need that receipt for a warranty down the road. As soon as I get home, I throw it in my scanner.
Yeah.
Just make a file.
You know what's
Print it,
cool?
You know,
When I go to,
put it in a little envelope.
yeah, no, I know what, when I go to, believe it or not, Harbor Freight and somewhere else, they just like email you. They email you the receipt too.
Everybody's doing that now.
And that's what happened. My wife was out Christmas shopping for me, and you know, during the week, I was at work, and bang, I get an email from where the fuck was I? I forget what store it was, but I'm like, okay, it was something that I knew she bought for me. Oh, it might have been Ace Hardware or something, or might have been Harbor Freight.
Northern Tool.
Yeah, and I'm like, all right. I said, I'll play it cool. I'm not going to open the email because I know obviously what this is. They're emailing me the receipt. So, when she got home that night, I was like, yeah, so what did you do today? And I'm like, well, what are you doing? Oh, I'm doing some shopping. Yeah, where'd you go? So I'm just like playing the game, like, I was like, yeah, you should have gone to Harbor Freight. I heard they had some good sales. Oh, well, I might have been near there. Yeah, I think you were near there. Like, how do you know? So I got an email from them. She's like, son of a bitch. Now she goes off. She goes, the kid at the register asked me if I wanted to, a receipt or just have it emailed like regular. And she said, I told the kid, no, don't email it. Figure it's going to come to me. Just give me the regular paper receipt. He says, okay, it's for a gift, no problem. And it got emailed anyway. I said, so now you got to go kick his ass, right? You got to go back and find this kid.
Yeah, there's like Christmas time comes. There's no secrets here because I'm the one that does all of the banking stuff.
Yeah.
And all the bill paying.
Right.
So, and my she'll shop real early.
Oh, yeah.
So I'll get like the American Express thing, and just look at it and go, oh, I used to get that.
Nice.
Getting this.
Good.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's
nice.
unreal.
Wow.
If I'm going through the bank, it'll show like what debits were made.
Right.
Check this out.
Yeah, I want to see Evans, DW, and like Zildjian. That's what I want to see. And I was like, that didn't happen. Come on.
No. I watched a bunch of stuff about Neil
Peart.
YouTube videos.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
Like I said,
really, they did a thing. Did you get to listen to that thing on Sirius XM?
No, not yet.
Oh no, it's gone. It's over.
Oh, it is done. Sometimes
they did like a 10-day.
Okay. I heard
deep tracks. They turned deep tracks into the Rush channel.
Yes, that I heard part of. I thought there was a podcast you were talking about. Yeah, I heard a little bit of that.
Which come to think of it, I said to myself, they're doing this now.
Yeah.
This was like, oh God, Neil Peart died, so we need to do something.
Right. Well, that's what they always do. It's knee jerk.
They do these channels for everybody.
Yeah.
How come they never did a Rush channel?
Yeah, there's enough material.
Yeah. Right.
I don't know what the protocol is for that. I don't know what they I don't know. I wonder about that.
It's kind of weird because
Tom Petty.
The woman that does I'm trying to think of which classic rock.
Dusty, is it Dusty Hill or Dusty?
No. She's out of New York. I think she lives in New Jersey. Christy with a K.
Okay.
She's like the afternoon DJ on classic rock.
Mm-hmm.
She talks about Rush all the time. She's like an unbelievable Rush fan.
Yeah. Right.
You would think that an employee would have some sort of pull.
Yeah.
Over there,
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know what their protocol is. I know there's the Billy
weird.
Joel channel. There's the Springsteen channel. There's the Underground Garage, Little Steven.
Yeah.
Tom Petty has a channel. The Beatles have a channel. Who else?
Grateful Dead has their own channel forever.
Yeah, Grateful Dead does.
Yeah, and like the Billy Joel thing kind of comes and goes.
Yeah, and then don't forget there's the old jam rock, like the Fish and all of that. That's cool if you're taking a long trip because every song is like 25 minutes.
They added a bunch of new channels.
Yeah.
They expanded their lineup.
The list upstairs. I just got a new menu list. Yeah.
Yeah. And if you do stuff on the internet with them, there's like hundreds and hundreds of channels.
Yeah.
So it's actually pretty good. I missed it for the last couple of days since
without your truck
they gave me only had a regular radio.
Yeah.
I was like, oh gosh.
Uh-oh.
I was actually able to hear some good stuff though.
Okay.
Yeah, I found some good stations while I was traveling around Florida, and it kept me away from listening to this impeachment crap.
Oh yeah, I can't.
Awesome.
It's on. My wife has it on the TV all day, all night. Like, you know what? Already enough.
I've heard about 5 minutes of it.
Yeah, that's about me too. It's like, and it's all over the paper. It's like 8 pages, and like, no.
Yeah, you know. Well, I feel a lot better.
Mm.
I'm not riled up about all the bullshit on both sides.
Yeah, good.
My blood pressure's lower.
That's good.
So I'm like, you know what? Okay, give it a rest.
That's good. Speaking of blood pressure, yeah, yesterday I went into
They're not going to get rid of him.
I know.
That's
Yesterday I was in the
given.
cardiologist, and they did their the echo test on the heart. They did the carotid artery tests on me.
Wow.
So I'm waiting about a day or so. I should get all. I want to know, because like I said, my co-host Joe had a stroke, and
God.
his one side was 100% blocked, the other side was 60, and like took him out of the game for now. I mean, he's recovering, but you never know what the recovery is going to be. How far is it going to go? Or is it going to stop? You don't know. So it had me thinking about carotid arteries, and so I'm checking. I'm like, okay, they're working, but like, what's it supposed to feel like? I don't know. So and it's funny because the woman who was doing the job, the tech, she's doing everything. I'm not talking to her. I'm leaving her alone, and you can hear the machine occasionally. Boop, 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 boop. And I said to her, well, I guess it's got to be kind of good because I heard the machine. She goes, yeah, that freaks out a lot of people when they hear it. I was like, it would freak me out if I didn't hear it. She goes, exactly right. You want to hear it. I'm like, all right. So
crazy stuff.
Yeah, you want to know about that. It sucks, but you got to start thinking about that kind of stuff.
It's good to know.
Yeah. Give me a baseline at least. Let me see. It's 61 years old. Where am I? Like, am I, am I okay? Am I, am I like in the body of an 80-year-old, or am I maybe in a 50-year-old? Who knows? Maybe, who knows? I don't know. I don't know. We'll see.
I just got to concentrate on losing weight. It's hard.
You were doing pretty good for a while.
I don't have the metabolism I used to have.
Well, that's the thing. No, nobody does.
Everything that I try that says, "Oh, this is going to boost your metabolism," it's not working.
No, everybody's metabolism slows down. I put on 10 pounds that I can't get rid of either, and it's like so anti me. But it's just.
I wish I had 10 pounds to lose.
Yeah, it's just but like everybody's physiology is different, and the metabolism is different. They say all my friends who have done this. It worked. Like they just cut out carbs and sugar. I'm like, just put a knife to my throat. Just kill me, and then I'll be fine. I'm like, because I could live on just carbs and sugar, and nothing else. But
last week we were doing some stuff. Bought a piece of furniture, and my wife's like, gotta go to the supermarket. Got to get some stuff. I'm like, okay, fine. So I'm pushing the cart. I come around the corner, and there's sitting it's like in the meat aisle, believe it or not, this like island of Entenmann's.
Oh, Jesus.
I'm like, oh.
Yeah.
Right away, I saw that long box with those chocolate frosted
donuts. Did it make the cash register?
Stuck them in the cart. Piled some other stuff on top of it.
Buried it.
My wife just pulling the stuff out of the register. What's this?
This John.
Fat? You don't need this? I'm like, oh, it's a snack. It's good. With a nice cold glass of milk.
Yeah. Wait till you get to the crumb cake, and then you get to the
like, oh God, you'll never learn.
No.
I got away with them.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Nice.
I've been good.
Yeah.
I'll have a half, or I'll have one.
Okay. All right. Okay.
So I could sit down and eat the whole box.
Yeah. No, that's restraint. That is restraint.
Yeah. I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah. That's funny.
I got to do something. I don't know. I'm thinking maybe I'll buy a stationary bike, buy a Peloton.
Yeah, right.
Spin class.
Yeah.
See, I think I would like that though.
Okay, give it a shot.
I like riding bicycles.
Yeah, I used to ride a lot. I haven't done it in years.
Before, like really, get your heart rate up and work up a sweat.
My wife wanted one for Christmas. I bought it for her.
Calories.
Yeah, I bought one from Bed Bath & Beyond. And I set it up and I built it and I got on it. But like, I don't know. It's like, I want to be on the road. Like when I was riding a bike, I just ride around town. And then I would do it, ride in the summer a lot. And it got to the point where I would just ride in like my bathing suit and a pair of like flip-flops, or not even flip, like just loose shoes and like half a t-shirt. I'd come home sweaty I'd ride because I go out at night after sunset. Come up the driveway. I got like an 80-foot, 5-foot driveway. Jump off the bike, go into the backyard, let the bike go, and I would just jump into the pool.
There you go.
Like, right over the side of the pool.
Yeah.
I would sleep great on those nights.
Sure.
Oh,
See, around here though, you don't want to ride the bike and get sweaty at night.
no,
The
What?
bugs will
the bugs.
destroy you.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's the problem.
Yeah.
You know, and the humidity down here,
Right.
mosquitoes are out, and then there's these tiny, they call them no-see-ums.
Uh-huh.
They're these tiny, tiny little, I don't know, flies or something like that.
Yeah.
They're so small you can't see them,
That sucks.
but they'll bite you,
Yeah.
you know? So if you're not sweaty, you don't really have much trouble with them. But if you're all
Really?
sweated up, they come after you like it's insane.
If it's humid, I'm sweating. That's it.
Yeah.
I hate humidity.
There's been times, in the summertime, it's hot. It's 80, 85 degrees at 10 o'clock at night. But,
Yeah.
I'll get out of the truck, pull out of the shop, and then I get out to the street, and I got to get out of the truck and close the gates.
Mhm.
And I'm getting bit alive
Oh, wow.
just closing the gate.
Yeah, that's
And I'm
not
like,
fun. That's not fun.
that's the bad part of Florida.
That's why pools are screened in.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
know. But stuff still gets through.
Yeah.
But not
yeah.
a lot. Not a lot at all. And the good thing is it keeps out every leaf.
Oh, yeah.
I never have to use a skimmer net to get rid of anything in the
That's
pool.
good. That's good.
Yeah.
So what do you use out on a patio? Do you use any kind of chemical thing or any kind of repellent? I mean, there was a lot of different
No, they
things.
spray the development.
Okay.
Yeah. They come by and they like fog out the development.
That's why you have that horn on your head, huh?
Exactly.
Yeah.
They do like mosquito abatement.
Right.
The county does it.
Yeah, they started doing that here
It's
for
not
years.
that bad.
And they'll tell you like what days and where they're doing it, and they just like
Yeah.
fog. They say stay in the house, close your windows.
Yep.
Just
They
fog out.
sell systems.
Yeah, that's what I was
I
asking. So-
have a lot of customers that have them. It's
Right.
believe it or not, they give you like a plastic 55-gallon drum,
Uh-huh.
and it's got a hose with a pump hooked up to it, and they put nozzles like around your pool cage and on your
Yeah.
property line,
Right.
and it comes on for like 2 or 3 minutes and sprays.
Mhm.
And after a couple of days of cycling that stuff,
Mm-hmm.
there's no bugs in your property at all.
Okay.
Pretty wild.
Yeah.
But I don't know. You can't tell me that those chemicals don't have an
Yeah.
issue down the road.
I wonder. Yeah, I wonder.
Emphysema, cancer, what else?
Yeah. Yeah, right. The cat is okay, but the kittens, the next litter of kittens have like lizard tails or something. It's
Right.
like, what the fuck?
So,
Yeah,
I don't have that.
Yeah, good. Yeah, that's nice.
But yeah, we don't have problems in the pool screen. It's good.
Yeah. I love those warm summer nights, man. That's like we used to call
awesome.
we used to call that ride all night nights. You'd be out on a motorcycle, be like we just ride all night.
That's why I can't wait to get this damn car together.
Yeah.
It's killing me.
Those are good nights. Those are nice nights. Yeah.
If I only would have just moved my ass a little bit more quickly, time passed.
Well, yeah,
I
could have showed.
wouldn't be doing what I'm doing today.
But hey, it is what it is.
Messing with my stuff.
Right. But it is
I
what
mean,
it is. At least you're moving forward. You're on the right track. It's happening.
Yeah,
So
I know, but it kills me because I'm missing like cruise nights and shows and things like that.
right.
It's
I'll
like-
tell you though, I thought kind of the same thing when I was restoring my car. I'm like, damn, I was sitting in this car for 20 years. I didn't do anything. I mean, I was raising a family, I had kids, I was doing other stuff, and I did other things, other projects. But I was like, you know what? When the first day I took it out for a shakedown, I was like, it doesn't matter. I'm doing it now. It's like, yeah, I could have been doing it 10 years ago, but you know what? I'm doing it now.
That's why I'm excited to hear this 632.
Yeah.
Camaro.
Oh yeah, it's gonna be sweet.
Yeah. I'll definitely have to videotape that.
Yeah. What kind of fuel are you gonna
I may go like Facebook Live
Okay.
and see if it starts like the instructions say it's gonna. I mean, the
Right.
motor's been broken in already.
Yeah.
Got dyno time.
Well, that's what gets me about the TV shows. These guys send engines out to be built, and then they get them in, and they don't start, and they're fiddling with the distributor, and I'm like, you know what?
I got to be honest with you, like that gas monkey crap. I think that's bullshit.
It is bullshit. I'm like, what engine builder in their right mind sends out an engine? I mean, they just ran it and dynoed it, and now it doesn't start. Get out of here.
Yeah, I don't know. You know,
The distributors
I can't believe those guys are as jackass as they are on TV.
I mean,
but total proof.
Yeah.
That trying to think of what car they built. They built something last season that had a full chassis, and they put the front 4-link brackets on upside down.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah. And that made the TV show.
Wow.
They showed it.
Yeah.
They showed the chassis with the bracket sticking up above the cross member instead of going below.
That's bad.
And as soon as I saw it, now you're talking, I don't know how far in advance the episode is edited and put together.
Right.
You know, as opposed to like when they actually did the work. Because I know when we did the stuff for Tanked, it wouldn't show up on TV sometimes for 4 or 5 months.
Sure.
You know? So immediately I texted my friend Russell, who's on the show.
Oh, yeah. Right.
And I'm like, dude, really? 4-link brackets upside down? I go, come on. He's like, nah, they fixed it. I go, yeah, but it made the television show.
Yeah.
I go, and you got guys like me that are car guys that are watching this thing just for some entertainment.
Right.
They go, you lose all credibility when a guy like me sees that. It's like, seriously?
Yeah.
He's like, nah, I know. But he goes, they didn't refilm it.
Yeah. Well, it's probably one of those things where there's less than 20% of the people or less than 15% of the people are really going to catch that.
90% of the people would not catch it.
Okay, yeah. It's so I guess they figured the odds are just
think about the fans of Fast and Loud.
Oh yeah.
Majority of them are just morons.
Yeah.
You know. I watch it just because I like cars. It's just another show that has cars.
Well, I like it too. It's a clean shop. It's there's always it's good stuff to watch. It's but
he was nice to me when I met him.
Okay.
But he's a full-blown alcoholic.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. No, they got the whole drama thing going.
Yeah, but I mean, he was drinking at 11 o'clock in the morning.
Wow. Yeah.
And I personally watched him bang back like 5.
Yeah.
You know, and I'm like, really?
Yeah.
So he's a functional alcoholic.
Living the life. Yeah. No, you don't get Miller bringing tanker trucks to your events. A major sponsor.
I'm not going to fault the guy for what he's done, though. He's got a great brand.
It wasn't Miller Welders; it's Miller Beer.
No, he's got good branding.
Yeah, well, he's a businessman.
The show's been around for a long time,
and he knows how to. He knows his business.
He's got his fingers in a lot of different things.
No, a lot of people are always ragging. We got 2 minutes left, by the way. A lot of people are always ragging about, the freaking guy doesn't work. No, he says right off, he's not a wrench. He's a money guy, and he says it. So there's got to be a money guy. So why can't it be him? Like everybody's got an opinion.
Yeah. No, he's never been the guy to do wrenching.
Right.
He's always been the money guy.
Yeah.
I'm not going to fault him for that. That's a good thing.
Not at all.
Clean way to work.
Yeah. Yeah, and he's got to look at the bottom line. He's got to look at the profitability. He's got to look at the return. Somebody's got to do that. Sure. And that's his job. So be it.
All right, brother.
All right. Yep. Time to get out of here. Go to bed. John, been a pleasure.
You too.
And yes, sir. And catch up.
Coming on next week.
Mark Warman on Sunday from Graveyard Cars.
Okay, cool.
And then the following week after that, I got Steve Magnante.
I'll be tuning in for both.
Watched him at Barrett Jackson. Just sent them an email. Said, "Hey, Steve." And the guys that don't do TV shows like Steve, he replied to me right away. Yeah. How about the second?
Steve's
you got
great.
It. Yeah.
My wife and I talked to him for about 20 minutes at SEMA.
Steve's a great guy.
He's awesome.
Yeah. So we've had him on before, and it's not as much as I'd like because he keeps pretty busy. But yeah, he'll be on in 2 weeks. And Mark now, and then maybe I'll do Dan Short again. And we're doing Mopar Mouth Radio.
Cool. Good.
So, all right, John. All right, man.
Bye-bye.
Talk to you. Good night.